I have traveled through the world of Hokage and the Hinata clan, but unfortunately it was a separation. Merit should be shared, money should be handed over, life is uncontrollable, always inferior. Anyway, I have to persevere until Huiying arrives, just in time to take advantage of the situation. This book is also known as, I Open, but I Don't Eat, Breathing Stronger, Wood Leaves, I Think of Dancing, and I Want to Charge for the Fire Shadow of the Five Dynasties, Planning and Operation Flow. Keywords of the novel. Man in Fire Shadow. Hinata's separation. Just swing it open. No pop-ups, people in the fire shadow. Hinata's separation. Just swing it open. Download the complete TXT collection, People in Hokage. Hinata's separation. Just swing it open. Latest chapter reading. Chapter 1. Hinata Ningyuan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. Hinata Ningyuan, Ding. You have completed a sleep experience +8, general experience +1, what sound? A slender arm stretched out from the bed, first groping under the pillow for a while, then reaching towards the edge of the bed. After pulling for a while, it seemed like something was wrong, and then raised its hand to start groping behind the bed. However, after half a day of exploration, it was still a blank slate. Where's my phone? The child stood up angrily and looked behind him. Not to mention the charging cable, the walls are all 3 or 4 meters away from me. And the walls have all turned into wood, with no holes on them, let alone sockets. What's the situation? The child hesitated for a moment and said, This is not my home. Wait, this is not my arm. It's not even my eyes. Have I traveled? Knocking on the temple, the child frowned and pondered, slowly beginning to recall. Forget it, take it as it comes. Hinata Ningyuan shook his head and quickly accepted the fact that he had traveled through time. Ningyuan, a less successful player on Earth Online, is 28 years old and a seasoned fan of Hokage. By the way, how did I travel? It seems like I'm sleeping. Hinata Ningyuan frowned and pondered, wondering why it's possible to travel by just taking a nap. Was it because I was hit by a mud truck in my sleep, so I didn't feel anything at all? Furthermore, feeling the vibrant body of today, and the sharp vision that can see the texture of the trees on the roof through the dim morning light. At first glance, it is prepared for spiritual training, loose but not close to the body. An adult's breakup doesn't require the words break up at all, just silently disappear from her life. Although I don't have a phone, this world has superpowers. Moreover, the technology of Huiying is developing rapidly, and perhaps smartphones can also be developed soon. But I'm on the 4th floor. It has been 2 years since being branded with the imprint of a bird in a cage, and it is obvious that the passage has nothing to do with this imprint. Because the ancestors of Hinata Ningyuan have been separated for 3 generations, and their roots are straight and red. Okay, that's not something to be happy about either. After all, he had no parents in his previous life and was carefree. But this body clearly showed signs of exercise and jumped up easily. Think about the years in my past life when I stayed up late to work and had an irregular lifestyle, as well as the nearsightedness that had skyrocketed to 800 degrees since 6th grade in elementary school and high school. He is not as miserable as the diurnal difference. He was born a few minutes later and became separated. A carp stood up in Ningyuan, Hinata. He knew how to do this, but considering his past physique, he couldn't do it at all. Is it okay to exchange this kind of journey for 100 times? Before long, he understood everything based on the memories remaining in this body. Although they have a girlfriend, due to their work, they live apart and don't even have time to play games together. This relationship has long been in name only. This outfit is fine, the way it is worn is similar to a previous life. Hinata Ningyuan flipped out a set of clothes from the bedside, featuring long-sleeved autumn clothes and elastic sports pants, all of which were white, and the fabric was particularly soft, somewhat similar to ice silk material. My name is Rihong Ningyuan, and I am a member of the Rihong clan in my village, Fire Country. I am 5 years old this year. Huaying, Muyi, Hinata, divide. However, starting training at the age of 5 is quite outrageous. But when I think about it again, it doesn't seem strange that Kiba is an assassination group, a mercenary organization. Similarly, in northern Myanmar, there is never a shortage of Boy Scouts among African warlords. Oh, why do you look a bit like me from a past life? There was no mirror in the room, and Hinata Ningyuan followed her memory to the bathroom. The area here is surprisingly large, with a complete range of showers and bathtubs, and the conditions are much better than those of previous rental houses. There is also a huge mirror next to it, in front of which are toothbrushes, toothpaste, soap and other toiletries, as well as a few cosmetics such as lipstick. That's something from Hinata Ningyuan's mother Hinata Meihui. There are some traces of a past life, but how could it be? Isn't it not determined by Jean's appearance? Or is it true that I am not a time traveler, but a rebirth, only awakening memories today? I saw the person in the mirror with delicate facial features and fair skin. Paired with a white training suit, they had a feeling of being as light as a swallow and exuding a heroic aura. Even these pure white eyes carry a different kind of beauty, not as terrifying as those Kozers with beautiful pupils, but rather a divine nobility. Just thinking about it, where can artificial objects compare to the eyes passed down by gods? Moreover, there were faint traces of a distant past life that made him suspect that he might not have traveled through time, but had awakened the memories of his past life after being reborn. As for why memories of past lives linger in sleep, thinking of my irregular diet and daily routine all year round, I might have died suddenly while sleeping. Is this the seal of the bird in the cage? Unlike Ning Ci, who wore a cloth strip, Hinata's forehead was illuminated, with 2 horizontal scepters painted on it, and a green pattern in the shape of an X in the middle. The seal of a cage bird, set by the Hinata clan to protect their eyes, can be automatically triggered after the recipient's death to destroy brain tissue and white eyes. If you say it's ugly, it's not really worth it. But because the seal of the bird in the cage deteriorated later and became a tool for the clan to oppress and rule the separation of families, the originally ordinary, neither beautiful or ugly imprint became an ugly creation. This thing, Tisk. Ningyuan shook his head and stopped paying attention to it. Anyway, it can't be solved now. There's no need to keep worrying about it, and there's no need for him to be mentally conflicted. And he came from the earth without demons. The people there want to learn martial arts, superpowers, and cultivate immortals. Some of them have already reached the point where you give me a sunflower manual, and I will cut it immediately. Now not only have you traveled through time, but you have also mastered superpowers, can also learn martial arts, and cultivate immortality. It's just an extra cage bird, acceptable. Anyway, this print is not without a solution. Although the original work did not mention a solution to the bird in the cage, Ningyuan is not a pig, he can use his own brain. And in just a short while, he came up with a feasible solution. Kill all the members of the Zong family, and everyone else will have a cage bird, which is equivalent to not having a cage bird. If you can't solve the problem, just solve the person who creates the problem, perfect. Yuana. A gentle call suddenly sounded behind Ningyuan, taking Ningyuan's heart out of shock as he pondered and quickly turned back. Oh my goodness, I almost scared myself to death. I walk silently. The newcomer is a young woman, dressed in a blue kimono and adorned with cherry blossoms. She looks gentle and delicate, with curved eyebrows and abnormal facial features. Overall, she looks a bit like the Japanese actress Yuki Tianhai from the last century. She is only about 157 meters tall while wearing wooden clogs, which makes Ningyuan a bit worried about her future height. She can't even be less than 1.70, can she? I don't quite understand why people wear kimono even in the morning when they were young. The person who came was none other than the mother of this body, Hinata Meihui. She is said to be a mother, but people in the ninja world got married early. Although Mehui Hinata is already the mother of a 5-year-old child, she is only 22 years old this year. And Hinata was 28 years old before crossing Ningyuan, so Ningyuan opened his mouth, and his mother was too stunned to shout out. Hinata Mehui felt the change in Ningyuan's emotions, but didn't think much. After all, the children of the Hinata family are like this, mainly separated. Her already low mood followed Ningyuan's gaze and became even lower. Until Ningyuan spoke up, "Is the meal ready?" "Oh, all right." Mehui Hinata quickly responded, "I'll help you wash up. Today is your day to go to ninja school, so don't be late." "I'll do it myself." Hinata Ningyuan quickly refused, "I'm already at school age, it's time to learn how to take care of myself." The sun was beautiful and speechless, and the light in his eyes seemed to have dissipated. Hinata Ningyuan was speechless and said, "Okay, why don't you help me?" Hinata Mehui's emotions suddenly became excited again. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Preparing to lie flat. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. Preparing to lie flat. Of course, Hinata Mehui's emotional changes cannot be concealed from Hinata Ningyuan. After all, his vision is very good now. Moreover, he lived in an era of information explosion, where people were teaching everything online. Therefore, the reason for the emotional changes of Hinata Mehui can also be understood by Hinata Ningyuan. It's nothing more than a mother's kindness encountering a rebellious son. The deeper reason behind it is cultural issues, such as the fact that once a woman in Ninamura gets married, she has to give up her job, career, and wholeheartedly serve her family. His father is not at home, so his whole mind is on Ningyuan. Once Ningyuan has the intention of self-reliance, she will feel a lack of value. In fact, it's too idle, so I always think about things and find a job. Speaking of which, I couldn't think of so much in such a short while before. My brain in this life seems to be better than in my past life. If I had this brain in my past life, then I had to choose from Chinbei. The lives of the protagonists in those academic novels are my autobiography. Hinata Ningyuan thought again that both Hinata and Ningxi had very good brains. Ningxi is the oldest and super genius, able to deduce and complete gossip poems on his own. Hinata is also the other independent top student among the 12, besides Sakura, who has independently solved 9 super outline questions in the Chinese ninja exam. Only dividing the family and not fighting oneself is called strict discipline and leniency towards oneself. So everyone else's moves have evolved from spiral pills to 6 spiral pills, with version updates n times. The Hinata family is still using the Bagua palm invented by their ancestors during the Warring States period, turning the tide. Moreover, such a powerful clan is not yet the protagonist. In various wars, they are all supporting, so here's the question, why? After all, this is a wooden leaf, so it's not good to be too bold. The cage bird system allows a large number of separated families to crawl under the command of the ancestral family. The children of the separated families, no matter how much credit they have made, no matter how talented or capable they are ultimately just dogs that the ancestral family can crush with just one thought. Since struggle is useless, we can only lie flat. As long as the grandson of the Zong family says, "Grandpa, I want it, can you tell me, in this situation, where is the driving force for progress, where is the driving force for innovation, and where is the strong driving force for Hinata's separation?" The geniuses who can be separated are all lying flat, so the Hinata family has not made progress. I don't know if all the birds in the cage are innocent, but the Zong family must be wrong. The fault lies in the Zong family not fighting the birds in the cage themselves. And he may have died of overwork in his past life, so he must learn a lesson in this life. By the way, do you have any collectibles now? Having strong vision, physical skills, and a good brain is truly a bloodline transmission. With so many advantages in the complete collection, how can ordinary people survive? That's certainly nonsense. The Uchiha clan, who have produced many geniuses and are constantly updating their versions, have been banned because they are too supermodels. So, the bird in the cage is innocent, and the Zong family did the right thing. This is clearly the bloodline advantage of the Hinata family. After careful consideration, at least before dealing with the bird in the cage, he did need to lie flat, not only to prevent the Zong family from being afraid, but also to guard against the old Yin Bai of Tuanzang. Even if it's not just about making achievements, even in business, scientific research, medical care, your achievements, contributions, or works, you can't help but make decisions. Unfortunately, you cannot say that there is a problem with this system yet, because the birds in the cage do indeed protect the eyes of the separated families and also preserve the Hinata clan. Genius, not to mention fate, is also about 99% born in separate families. The population of the Hinata clan is extremely small, and a single lineage is passed down. How many geniuses can this inheritance method produce? What about this tribe? It's a matter of fixed thinking and system. Hinata Ningyuan spent a breakfast and thought about it. The main reason why Hinata has a huge advantage is that they can only play auxiliary roles, which is really a system issue. Turning the seal of guarding the family into the seal of enslaving and dividing the family is called petty behavior, reversing black and white. So, I also want to lie down. Hinata Ningyuan recalled the street view she saw when she went out, as if the avatar of the third generation was already on Huiying Rock. It's okay then, Huiying has already been launched. Today is the day when you start school, so when you arrive at school, you must get along well with your classmates, Hinata Meihui instructed while giving Hinata Ningyuan a bento. Hinata Ningyuan nodded and looked at the bento in Hinata Meihui's hand. She said that the bento she made in the morning had cooled down for lunch. Eating this thing year round is not good for the stomach, right? He has drifted off again. It seems that I have seen a TikTok video before, saying that the incidence rate of stomach disease in childhood is 80%, which is the highest in the world. Maybe it's related to this dietary habit. Opening a fast food restaurant next to ninja school should be very impressive. By the way, I took a bite of tempura, which is actually fried egg flour, which is similar to deep-fried dough sticks. Occasionally, I will put some meat or shrimp in it, but there is no meat or shrimp in the Japanese fried tempura, only diced carrots. Is your family very poor? Hinata Ningyuan recalled memories of his predecessor. It was rare to have meat for 3 meals a day, and he didn't often buy new clothes. The training uniform he was wearing now was changed from his neighbor's house. If you only wear old clothes, it may be due to diligence, frugality. But if the child doesn't even have to eat meat, it can only be because the family is really poor. My physical father is a medium ninja who can take on B, C, and D level tasks. The maximum bonus for D level tasks is 10,000 yuan, with a score of 5,000 yuan. The maximum bonus for C level tasks is 50,000 yuan, with a score of 25,000 yuan. The maximum bonus for B-level tasks is 150,000 yuan, with a score of 75,000 yuan, even if calculated based on the highest level. His father, Hinata Yuangui's team, was a medium tolerance team that did not receive any money from the upper tolerance. Additionally, because Hinata Yuangui had the surname Hinata, he was able to receive a large share. After deducting the village's commission, he could still receive about half of the total reward. A D-level task per day costs 5,000 yuan per day, and a month is 150,000 taels. 1 C-level task per week, 25,000 yuan per week, and 100,000 taels per month. 1 B-level task per week, 75,000 taels per week, which is 300,000 taels per month. 300,000 taels, how much? A bowl of Lamian noodles is 60 liang, which is almost equal to 12 yuan, that is, 1 yuan equals 5 liang. 300,000 liang, which is 60,000 yuan, means that the monthly income of Rihong Ningyuan's father is 60,000 yuan. This is a well-established high-paying class. But the problem is, this is income in an ideal state. In fact, B.level tasks usually don't have as much bonus as 150,000 taels, and they can be completed in less than a week. You should know that the completion time for the C.level mission of the Kingdom of Waves is calculated on a monthly basis. A B.level task, serving as a caravan guard, takes about half a month to run back and forth, but the bonus is only 100,000 taels. I do it twice a month, 200,000 taels, and share 1 point with my teammates, earning 100,000 taels. 100,000 divided by 5 is 20,000 yuan. This is the income that Rihong Yuan Gui should have. Even 20,000 yuan is not low, surpassing 99% of people in China. So the question is, with such a high income, why is the family still so poor? Hinata split the family, wouldn't he have to pay the heavenly gold to the Zong family? Hinata Ningyuan thought for a moment, but he really didn't know about it. First of all, he was just a child and no one told him, and second of all, Kishiban didn't even paint. However, the Hinata clan doesn't go out to do tasks. Where does the money come from for food, drink, and labor? They definitely rely on dividing the household for support. How is this ratio determined, 5 to 5? 4 or 6? Or 7 or 3? Can't it be August 2nd, right? Although Hinata doesn't appear to be very wealthy and still doesn't have enough to eat every day, it's normal for the entire Hinata clan to be used to it. Hinata is wealthy and doesn't like to show off. Unfortunately, I traveled too early and haven't given birth yet. Hinata Ningyuan thought for a moment, and now Hinata and Hinata are both young brothers who haven't gotten married yet. By the way, when I first woke up, what sound was ringing in my ear? Putting down the dishes, Hinata Ningyuan's ear once again heard a crisp reminder sound. Ding, you have completed a dietary activity, dietary experience +1, general experience +1, current level LV1, 1 out of 100, Ningyuan's eyes lit up in an instant. System. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Replacing martial arts with dance. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3 Replacing Martial Arts with Dance, Name. Hinata Ningyuan, Gender. Male age. 5 skills. Sleep LV1, 8 out of 100, Diet LV1, 1/100, Talent. None general experience points. 2. This is a system interface that is so rudimentary that it feels like typing a Word document, with limited content, so Hinata Ningyuan has a clear view. Years of playing games, mobile phones, computers, and reading novels have also made him instantly understand the functions of this system. By conducting an activity, one can gain specialized experience and general experience. As for what these experiences can be used for, specialized experiences are naturally specialized upgrades and general experiences, so naturally any one can be added. However, why is my talent lacking? Isn't Mother Earth willing to give something as a gift? What about having multiple sons, multiple blessings, and understanding that defy the heavens to reward diligence with half the effort and twice the result? And this white eye, isn't the Hinata bloodline considered a talent? Also, sleep and diet can be considered skills and can be upgraded. Hinata Ningyuan was only surprised for a moment and immediately realized the abnormal nature of these two functions. Sleep may seem like an ordinary skill, but it can be divided into shallow and deep sleep. It is said that 5 minutes of deep sleep is enough to make up for the fatigue of 8 hours a day. Unfortunately, people spend most of their time in shallow sleep, with very little time in deep sleep. Therefore, they need 8 hours of sleep to make up for the loss of the day. If my sleep level can be improved, can I enter a deep sleep state anytime and anywhere? Others see me as just taking a nap, but in fact, I have recovered from a day of fatigue. This skill is very useful, whether it is for learning, research, or work. The value of this skill is first class. Moreover, Hinata Ningyuan is still a ninja student now and may even go to the battlefield in the future. On the battlefield, it is common to stay up for 3 days and 3 nights without sleeping. If you have an advanced sleep skill that can take 5 minutes of sleep for up to 8 hours, then the safety can be greatly improved. Moreover, is deep sleep the endpoint of sleep? On top of sleep, there is also calmness and fetal rest. Oh, by the way, meditation and sleep are not the same thing. Hinata Ningyuan thought to herself and confused the two. Entering meditation, fetal rest is an advanced skill in meditation. But it doesn't matter, if you can develop sleep skills, you can also develop meditation skills. I just don't know where the limit of this upgrade is, whether it's to the limit of the skill or to the level of the concept. If it's just the former, then it can only be said that this system is okay. If it is the latter, by the way, what is the situation with this experience? Why is sleep at 8 o'clock and diet at only 1 o'clock? Hinata Ningyuan thought for a moment, and the relationship between sleep and 8 is probably that he slept for 8 hours. If there is a universal experience, it may be just one activity that earns a little bit. The skill of sleep requires 8 hours for 8 o'clock, and 100 hours for 100 o'clock, which means the effect can be seen in 12 days. It looks quite fast. But the question is, as the sleep level increases, will the sleep time correspondingly decrease, and will upgrading this skill become difficult? I don't know if it's related to sleep quality, maybe 5 minutes of deep sleep can provide more experience than 10 hours of shallow sleep. Hinata Ningyuan comforted herself and immediately began to think about how to use her system correctly. Firstly, he needs to go to school, and he should also be able to develop his skills. If you can develop a learning skill, it is definitely the best. Improving your learning ability is equivalent to improving your comprehension. Even if you don't have the ability to write will eyes, you can still replicate other people's ninjutsu. But if you are studying Chinese and mathematics, it's not that it's bad, but mathematicians really can't save the world of ninja. Well, it's not necessarily true. If we could get a nuclear bomb out, I need to find the pattern of skill brushing, but before that, I need to set a priority. Shadow clone technique can be learned to see if using shadow clones for activities can boost experience. If possible, first increase the level of the shadow clone, and then use the million shadow clones to brush their skills together. However, releasing shadow clones requires a large amount of chakras, and there are many chakras in the Hinata clan, but they are not as abnormal as the Vortex clan, so the chakra extraction technique also needs to be upgraded. When the shadow clone returns, it will bring a lot of memories, and people with poor bones cannot bear it, so their physical strength also needs to be increased. My physical strength has improved, and I am also learning lower body techniques. Upgrading physical skills can simultaneously increase body strength, reaction speed, and movement speed. And the increase in physical strength can also increase the amount of chakra. One kind of effort, multiple gains, and the priority of physical skill brushing is still very high. But here comes a contradictory point. If one strives to cultivate physical skills and improves too quickly, will they be noticed by the sect or the Tuanzang? Even with a normal amount of training, with the assistance of the system, one should be able to achieve an improvement beyond that of ordinary people. But Hinata Ningyuan's lying flat is just to protect himself, not really lying flat. Normal physical training cannot meet his needs. So, what should I do if I want to improve my physical skills and don't want others to notice that I'm working hard? Find a forest to secretly train. If someone discovers it, the problem becomes even bigger. Who are you secretly guarding against? Are you dissatisfied with your family? Still dissatisfied with the village? Someone, check your memory. Oh, brain sealing surgery also needs to be arranged. Tissue, Hinata Ningyuan pondered for a long time before suddenly his eyes lit up. He remembered a movie he had watched in his past life, called Master, in which Chen Shi was invited by Jing Shineo to watch a dance, and he said that the skillful use of muscles in the dance steps of a white Russian woman was almost like boxing. Martial arts, dance techniques, I can't practice martial arts, I can dance. When Banyi comes out and invites me to dance, I'll pull him to a platinum disco. The advantage of the information explosion and the 50-100-year history of outsiders is that no matter what difficulties they encounter, they can find solutions in the vast database. When practicing legs and footwork, one can use ghost trolls. When practicing boxing and palms, one can use social shaking. When practicing seal making, one can use finger dance. When practicing weapons, one can use gun dance. And when practicing flexibility, one can also use peacock dance. As the train of thought opened, Hinata Ningyuan suddenly realized that using dance instead of martial arts was actually very promising. Moreover, using dance instead of practicing martial arts has another benefit, which is to hide oneself and make it easier to lie flat. After all, for ninjas, dancing is not a serious job. A ninja who loves to dance, who would take him to heart, and who would think of a dancer who is actually a martial artist behind the scenes. Just like the rap-loving Chilobai, no one takes him seriously until he shows off his strength. That's right, Sasuke, that's you. Moreover, Hinata Ningyuan himself also quite enjoys dancing. He traveled back in his time when koan dance, square dance, subject 3, and social dance were all popular. Ningyuan doesn't jump because he doesn't like it, it's just that he has exhausted all his energy from commuting, and he really doesn't have that leisure and energy. But let me borrow a line from the Star Lord. I, a pork guy, don't want to become a dancer. Not just a dancer. Inexplicably, the wishes made in childhood and the ideals buried in reality began to emerge before our eyes. I want to go into space, become a scientist, and fly a fighter jet. I want to learn aero, I want to learn piano, I want to play violin. I want to sing a confession night in front of millions of viewers, stunning everyone. Is rebirth just for the sake of being a ninja grinding teeth, sucking blood, and killing people like crazy? Then this life of rebirth is too boring. I am not just from Earth to Hokage, I am still a 28-year-old otaku whose ideals have been completely buried by reality, back to the age of 5. This is an age when youth is young, full of hope, and everything is possible. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. The Level of Ninja World Power. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. The Level of Ninja World Power, Hehe. Hinata Ningyuan, walking on the road, suddenly let out a muffled smile. What's wrong with you? Hinata Meihui, holding his hand, asked curiously. Oh, I just thought I could make many friends at ninja school, I'm a bit happy. Hinata Ningyuan casually said. Actually, the previous calmness has subsided, and the excitement of time travel has surged up. He still couldn't believe that he had really traveled. Cough, calm down, smile so foolishly, like a donut. To be honest, crossing to the leaves of wood is much better than walking on a thread. Those who walk the line will be shot, discriminated against, and may even be turned into puffs or starved to death. As for although the problem is also significant, just chakra alone is enough to cover up everything. Especially chakra covers a series of abilities such as spells, body spells, immortality, illusion, etc. It is equivalent to a combination of Taoism, martial arts, and immortality, satisfying multiple fantasies in one-time travel. It is simply exhilarating. Moreover, there are many single beauties and good figures in Kiba. That's right, what I'm talking about is Gangsho. As the saying goes, if you don't marry the 5 generations shadow in your lifetime, you will feel lost even if you wear out all the world. If you have the opportunity in this life, you must work hard. Speaking of which, marrying Gangsho is also a way to remove the bird seal in a cage. Not to mention that Gangsho himself is proficient in sealing and medical ninjutsu, he is likely to be able to study and understand this seal. Just say that my wife is a master of martial arts, why doesn't the Zong family come knocking on their own door to untie it? Shoo! In his wild thoughts, Hinata Ningyuan suddenly felt a tightness in his head. He had been pulled to the side of the road, and then a black shadow jumped over the nearby wall. Then there were 2 whistles, and 2 young people dressed in black with ping-pong rackets on their backs followed suit. Yuzhibo blinked at Ningyuan. So is this family still here? That's a member of the Uchiha clan. Noticing Hinata Ningyuan's gaze, Hinata Meihui reminded, you should also encounter Uchiha clan children in school. If you're a genius, you can tolerate it. If not, By the way, where can Yuzhibo produce mediocre talents? She didn't say much, but Hinata Ningyuan knew that the Hinata and Uchiha clans were vaguely vying for the position of the first family of Kiba, so it was best not to lose to Uchiha in the competition. This was revealed by Hinata's family to Hinata Ningyuan. Of course, Hinata Meihui is also aware of this, but when it comes to her own son, she doesn't want Hinata Ningyuan to bear so much pressure. And to put it bluntly, the achievements of the Hinata clan, whether in school competitions or on the battlefield, are all suppressed and beaten by the Uchiha clan. Uchiha has the title of single-on-single kill, while the Hinata clan does not. What does this mean? Indicating that the wooden leaf is pulling the frame. After all, the strategic significance of Bai Yen always lies in the combat power of the Uchiha clan. Without the Uchiha clan, Muyi may not have won many fewer times, but without Hinata, Muyi would probably have been pushed home long ago. When evaluating the results, we only focus on killing and not on reconnaissance. So no matter how much discrimination Yuzhibo is subjected to, his treatment in Kiba is still above that of the Hinata clan. Meihui. Mrs. Shinli. The appearance of the 2 Uchiha waves did not affect their progress, and soon they were close to the range of the ninja school. Meihui has also started to meet acquaintances. Is this your child? She's really cute. Mrs. Shinli looked about the same age as Meihui, wearing a floral dress with big waves on her head, giving off a Hong Kong-style feeling. She followed a chubby little radish head that was less than a meter behind her, looking curiously at Hinata Ningyuan, mainly looking at her eyes. When she noticed that Ningyuan was looking, she immediately turned her head. Where, Shintai Jun is also very cute. Hinata Meihui smiled and pushed Hinata Ningyuan. This new aunt is my good friend, so you must get along well with Shintai. Children's friends are mostly designated by adults, although Hinata Ningyuan doesn't want to make friends. However, the 2 adults have already started chatting, and they are also idle. Why not chat with this chubby little guy for a while? Maybe they can even develop a chat skill. Hello, my name is Hinata Ningyuan, just call me Ningyuan. Ningyuan reached out his hand and smiled. Oh, my name is Shinli Shintai, that's great. Little Pangdun also reached out his hand and the 2 shook hands. Are you from the ninja tribe? Ningyuan asked. He didn't remember that there was a ninja tribe called Shinli in Mai, but comics couldn't depict every aspect of Mai. Perhaps Shinli was a family that had never appeared before. No. Xin Tai shook his head immediately, but he dared not pretend to be a ninja. Our family came from the ceremonial officials of the Fire Country, and later joined the village of Mai. My father was the first ninja in our family. Oh. Ningyuan understood clearly. In fact, he wanted to ask his father if he was a ninja or a middle ninja, but he thought about what secrets this might involve, so he let it go. Along the way, they chatted about some things they didn't have, but the 2 quickly became familiar with each other. The urban area of Mai is just a small piece in the game, maybe not as big as a villa. The urban area in the animation is also not large, and some creators have calculated that the diameter is only 700 meters, which is somewhat outrageous. With the hearing and speed of ninjas, if the diameter is only 700 meters, ninja support during the 9-tailed incident cannot be so slow. According to official data, the main urban area of Mai is 40 million square meters, or 40 square kilometers, which is almost the main urban area of a county-level city. If it is a modern city, there is no problem for high-rise housing to accommodate 800,000 people. However, Kiba is mainly composed of bungalows, and the population is obviously not that large, but there should still be 150,000 to 200,000 people. During the Fourth World War, a total of 100,000 ninja troops were formed by the 5 major powers. According to the size of the population, the Kiba people should have sent the most troops, and a total of 25,000 is not excessive. Out of 200,000 people, 25,000 soldiers were pulled out, which is indeed a reliable data. This is the wooden leaf in the data, and based on observations of the journey of Rihong Ningyuan, this official data is relatively stable. The population is unknown, but the area is definitely 40 million square meters. This can also explain why the Yukibo clan has so much resentment. They didn't just move a few hundred meters, but a few kilometers and directly moved from the city center to the suburbs. The shadow of my village is definitely not as simple as that of a village head. It is wearing the name of the village head and doing the work of the county head. After discovering the size of the wooden leaves, Ningyuan, who had not paid much attention to the position of Fire's shadow, suddenly wavered a bit. Being a village chief or something is indeed boring, but if it were to be replaced by a mayor, it doesn't seem like we can't consider it either. Furthermore, Ningyuan thought of Pain, who had taken out the wooden leaves during the Chaozhou Shenluo Tianjing. If the wooden leaves were so big, Pain wouldn't have taken down a small village. This Chaozhou Shenluo Tianjing affected an area of 40 million square meters with a diameter of 7,000 meters. This is a bit outrageous. You should know that the explosion range of the little boy's atomic bomb is only 2 kilometers in diameter, and the infrared wave coverage range is only 7 kilometers. To blow up the wooden leaves, 13 little boys are needed, which means that Pain's Super Shenluo Heavenly Expedition has the power equivalent to 13 little boy atomic bombs. No wonder he calls himself a god. What's the difference between him and a god? Moreover, Pain has not yet stood at the top of the ninja realm. This is just a super shadow, with 6 spots and 6 immortals on it, and the big barrel would shine night. The combat power level of the ninja realm is a bit high. Hinata Ningyuan clenched his fist, and the corners of his mouth had become even harder to press than AKs. After all, he has also come to this world, which means that he has a chance to achieve this level of combat power. At that time, I must design a landing posture that is even more handsome than Azu. End of this chapter. Chapter 5 Ninja School Report. Xiaoluoli Shi Rihong. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5 Ninja School Report. Little Lolita Shi Rihong. The distance from Hinata's home to ninja school is not far, only over 400 meters. Because although the planned area of Mai is large, it is usually reserved for later generations to live outside, so the Hinata clan naturally allocated it to the core area when they joined Mai early. Even closer inside, there are Uchiha and Shinsho. Kiba doesn't have modern cars, so even though it's at the entrance of the school, there's no situation where the traffic directly blocks the road like in later kindergartens. The entrance of the relatively small school was bustling with people, and then one by one parents brought their children to the school gate to fill out forms and register. After that, the parents could leave, while the children were led away by teachers from various classes, forming a formation. I will listen to the Huiying speech later. In a city with a population of 200,000 and a birth rate of 10 per thousand, there are around 2,000 newborns per year, but not all of these children come to school. Firstly, going to school is not free, and the expensive tuition fees will directly discourage nearly 70% of families. Secondly, this is a ninja school. Attending a ninja school may not necessarily lead to becoming a ninja, but after all, there is this expectation, and some parents do not want their children to become ninjas. This has discouraged another 10% of families. If you only wear a pair of sunglasses, it may be a group of oily women. Hinata nodded to Ningyuan, searching for familiar people among her classmates. It seems that there are many celebrities in this generation. When you arrive at school, you should get along well with your classmates. At the school gate, Hinata Mehui handed in the registration form to Hinata Ningyuan and instructed her. Asma, Shi Rihong, Senai E by Shi, flying bamboo dragonfly, water wood, flag wood Kakashi, Metkai, soil, silent, Uzi bow iron fire. It is worth mentioning that in the same year, they also had a photo of Mei Ming. Although it's not from the same village, my love is separated by mountains and seas, and the mountains and seas can be level, let alone two villages. Ningyuan, look at that person, he's wearing a pair of sunglasses. Xin Tai pulled Ri's arm towards Ningyuan, then reached out and pointed. However, is this the current edition? He has a considerable number of students this year, about 250, possibly caught up in a post-war baby boom, as for acquaintances. Rihong is from this generation. Found it. Red eyes, handsome appearance, and a touch of elegance. That's right, what he saw first was the tall Yuri True Red, and then the one he was holding in his hand, with black hair and red eyes, looking a bit naive and cute Yuri Red. But this person also has a ping-pong racket logo on him, that's not sunglasses, that's called goggles. Hinata Ningyuan said angrily, then turned his head. It's just a mastermind behind the scenes in the ninja realm, not worth mentioning. Can't I look for a girl at that time? Hinata turned her head to look at Ningyuan, and although he looked quite sunny, there was inexplicably a feeling of foolishness. After so many screenings, the number of children coming to school is not many, and having 1/10 is considered high prestige for Hokage. Thirdly, many ninja families have internal clan studies and do not come to school. Sending their children to school is just a way for the ninja clan to save face for Hokage, such as Hinata Ningyuan. The green color was already eye-catching, and these two people were actually holding each other at the school gate and crying bitterly. Dad, I will definitely work hard to show my classmates patience. Is this girl so cute when she was a child? Hinata Ningyuan blinked, but he didn't have any abnormal ideas, and even if he had ideas, he couldn't implement them. Tisk, Hinata quickly withdrew her gaze from Ningyuan, feeling like she was about to be contaminated. Dad believes you, go ahead and prove your youth to everyone. Hinata Ningyuan twitched at the corner of his eye and found it. That's a father-son duo, big and small, dressed in green tight-fitting clothes with watermelon skin hairstyles, almost carved from the same mold. But compared to boys, he prefers to play with girls. Of course, this kind of thinking will be despised among elementary school students, but I still care about it even after being reborn. Brother. Hinata Ningyuan pulled over Shintai, who was still looking around, and said, our friendship, let's pause for a moment. Ha. My heart is too confused, why pause? By the way, let me remind you. Hinata Ningyuan patted her shoulder and said, it's best to start a relationship at school, otherwise it will be difficult to find a younger sister after leaving school. Seeing that Rihong had already entered the school, Hinata Ningyuan stopped talking nonsense and followed her in. The registration form for Meihui has only been filled out, which theoretically does not comply with the regulations. However, the ninja guarding the gate can tell from Hinata Ningyuan's iconic white eyes that there will be no problem. Where would they stop it? Then I saw the Hinata little ghost taking 3 steps and 2 steps, catching up with a little loli who had just entered. Rihong. Hinata shouted to Ningyuan. Ah! Hearing someone shouting behind her, Rihong quickly turned around and saw a strange child quickly approaching her, then grabbed her hand. Hey! Rihong blinked and heard someone say with a smile, my name is Ningyuan, we're in the same class. Ah, really? Rihong suddenly forgot what she had just wanted to say and also forgot that her hand was still being held. How did you know my name? I'm right behind you and saw your registration form. Ningyuan asked, your eyes are red, and mine are white. Red and white are classic colors, so should I try being my girlfriend? To make friends, one should be quick and decisive, cutting through the chaos with a sharp knife. Even if it doesn't work out, the relationship will be closer. Little thugs and rappers rely on this persistent tactic to attract school beauties that you think are simply unattainable. Of course, there is another way to respect her, love her, accompany her, think of her thoughts, and be anxious about her anxieties. However, this route can easily develop into a licking dog, so Ningyuan won't take it. Moreover, Asma doesn't seem like a person who can lick people, which indicates that Rihong may not necessarily eat this kind of thing. Hey. Rihong widened her eyes and said, but, hey. She thought for a moment and realized that being someone else's girlfriend or something doesn't seem like it's not impossible. Dad said he wants to be more friends with his classmates. I made a good friend so quickly, didn't he? She obviously doesn't know the difference between a friend and a girlfriend yet, but it doesn't matter. By the time she finds out, she should have already gotten used to Ningyuan's existence. What are your two names? Teacher Zhongren was curious when he saw the two people holding hands. The characteristics of these two people are very obvious. White eyes are exclusive to white eyes, and red eyes should belong to the true red family of Ueno Nishiri. Although both Hinata and Nishiri have the word day, they should not have much relationship, right? The sun is heading towards Ningyuan. Rihong. Oh, come with me then, you will all be my students from now on. Zhong Ninshao said. He dare not interfere with matters between big families, just do his job well. Hello teacher. Outside the school gate, as soon as Rihong was sent in, she met her old colleague and started chatting. Kakashi is also at school age. Yeah. The handsome young man with a gentle smile shyly curled his lips. Who would have thought that such a humble and kind young man would be the enemy killed on the battlefield, fearing to encounter a ruthless person who could give up the mission? Where's your daughter? Chimu Shuomao asked. I've already sent it in. Rihong pointed out and turned her head, then her smile froze on her face. Wait, where did that kid from the Hinata family come from? Why did he just hold my daughter's hand? Little bastard, please part ways with me. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. When getting married, one should marry on the evening red sun. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. When getting married, one should marry on the evening red sun. Hinata Ningyuan didn't know that Rihong had already noticed his movements, and even if she did, she wasn't afraid. He has already brought Rihong to the class formation. This class is clearly not randomly divided, because Hinata Ningyuan saw the blonde mountain tribe, the chubby Aikido tribe, the pineapple-headed Nara tribe, the oily girl tribe wearing sunglasses, and the Uchiha tribe carrying soil. Not long after, Kakashi was also brought over by the teacher. It's just that Yi Yuanlin and Mei Tikai went to another class, and Ningyuan speculates that they will be further divided according to their talents in the future, and then they will be placed in the same class. At 8 o'clock in the morning, all the students arrived, and the third-generation Hokage appeared on the stage in front of the formation on time. Hello everyone, I am the principal of the school and also the fire shadow of the village. Monkeys fly and the sun slay. It's nice to see another class. Where the leaves dance, the fire also grows endlessly. I hope all students will study hard and grow themselves in the coming years. The first book is used for character recognition, starting from the 50-tone chart and moving on to various commonly used words and phrases. To extract chakras for the first time, you need to put your hands together and mobilize your body's energy as much as possible. In the future, when extracting chakras, you only need to create a seal. Hinata Ningyuan flipped through the 3 textbooks in her hand, including standard language, mathematics, and perseverance. At the age of 46, Monkey Flying Sun Slayer is in his prime of life. Not only is he full of energy, but his gaze is also extremely sharp. Chakra is a product of the fusion of physical and mental energy extracted from 130 megabytes of cells. The meridians are the pathway for chakra circulation, and fingerprints are the method of calling chakra. Mathematics is even simpler. At the elementary level, a whole book goes from understanding numbers to addition and subtraction, and then it's gone. So, there is no such thing as chakra extraction. As long as a person's hands are folded together, they can try to extract chakras. At first glance, these things seemed a bit strange to Hinata Ningyuan. Isn't this a bit too simple? As the name suggests, this book is about ninja knowledge and is divided into 3 chapters. Chakra, handprint, and meridians. However, this monkey flying day slash is not like many fan fiction novels, where a speech lasts for several hours and he only spoke for more than 10 minutes before announcing the end. Next, each class teacher leads the students into their respective classes in an orderly manner, selects seats, and then carries and distributes textbooks with a few students. Accustomed to the sight of the elderly beheading, suddenly seeing the young, Hinata Ningyuan still felt a bit uncomfortable. Just thinking about it, a group of 5-year-old children may not understand you no matter how much you say, but may find you verbose. By the time all the miscellaneous tasks were finished, it was already past 9 o'clock in the morning. However, Hinata Ningyuan had already learned these things at home, and with his adult thinking, after flipping through them from beginning to end, he almost understood them. Hinata Ningyuan has opened the 3rd textbook, Ninja Consciousness. It seems that the family doesn't teach much chakra extraction either. The chakra extraction method I learned is the same as the one in the textbook, and there is no saying that it is exclusive to the Hinata clan. Hinata Ningyuan looked at the textbook's knowledge and recalled the teachings Hinata Ningyuan received in the family, finding that there was almost no difference between the two. That is to say, chakra extraction is really a very simple thing. Try it later. Actually, when he woke up, Hinata Ningyuan wanted to extract some chakras for the experiment. However, he is now a beginner and extracting chakras requires a quiet environment, which will take a long time. He is busy eating, washing, and going to school, so naturally he can only put it down for now. I can't try now because the teacher has already come in. Hello everyone, I am your homeroom teacher, my name is Xiaoluoli. The person I came from is Zhongren, who just picked up Rihong Ningyuan and Rihong. He is less than 1.65 tall and has a slim physique. Judging by his age, he may not be 20 years old. I like apples and dislike spicy food. As for my dream, I want to become a great ninja school teacher. I wrote my name on the blackboard and said to Bibi Tsongyun, next, let's also introduce myself. As I just said, let's talk about my hobbies, future dreams, and so on. Let's start with you. He refers to the classmate sitting at the door. The student also showed no stage fright and stood up straight. I am the rising moon of the gods. I like cleanliness and dislike things that are not neat. My future dream is to become someone everyone trusts. Then you really are. Even Pen dare not leave the gate guarded by you. Rihong roast. I am Gangzi Tai, I like to eat sweets and dislike spicy food. My dream is to become a trusted person like Chuyun. Hinata Ningyuan touched her chin, thinking whether she wanted to live her whole life or not, and said that her dream was to become a dancer. Think about it and forget it. You can do this, but it's better not to say that, otherwise it will be too unconventional. By the way, how come not many people's dreams are to become Hokage? It's abnormal. I am Uchiha Daitu, and my dream is to become Hokage. Coming, finally someone said their dream is to become Hokage. To be reasonable, he is still very close to the position of Hokage, after all, he is a disciple of Shueimen. Isn't it his turn for the next generation of Shueimen? Kakashi, there's nothing I like, nothing I hate, and nothing I want to say. If I dream, I don't want to say it. With dirt, it's Kakashi's turn. Didn't you say nothing? Asked the person with a hint of frustration. Ha! Kakashi glanced at the corner of his eye and withdrew it. Bastard! With dirt, he clenched his fist and stood up straight. What are you farting about? Kakashi is too lazy to pay attention to him. As a ninja, protecting his own intelligence is not a natural thing, is it? He comes from a prestigious family, has a deep academic background, and is also a genius. To be honest, he looks down on these classmates in his class. In his mind, since I haven't been in school for long, there's no need to get along well with my classmates. Then his posture, which was even more pretentious than Yujibwa, was remembered by everyone. Some admired him, some refused, and some wanted to challenge him. Hinata Ningyuan silently watched, then began to ponder what she would say later. How about copying a wave of famous quotes? No arrow Lin, flying bamboo dragonfly, Uchiha iron fire. As one student after another introduced himself, it was finally his turn to sit in the back row. Hinata Ningyuan stood up solemnly and said, Hinata Ningyuan, I'll talk about things I like later, but there doesn't seem to be anything I dislike. As for my ideals, I want to use a poem to describe my ideals. When getting married, one should marry on the evening when the sun is red, and ninjas should be treated as second-generation eyes. Hey! The red face next to Shiri blushed instantly. Who wants to marry me? End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Development Ideas for Hinata Chakra. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. Hinata Chakra Development Ideas. The sun is heading towards Ningyuan, who is the night sun red. Just as Ningyuan spoke, Daitu curiously asked. Which woman has such great charm, and would marry someone who is red on the night of their wedding? I saw Ningyuan raise his eyebrows and pull up his desk mate. I am Rihong. Ah, the whole class was boiling, and all the boys immediately looked at Rihong. Those sitting behind even got up and ran to the front to see. After reading it, I feel like there's no problem with that. Rihong is really cute. As for the girls, is there anything? I'm also very cute, okay? Yeah, we're not bad either, okay? What's that? With a dirty pout, he turned his head and said, I feel like he stinks even worse than you. Kakashi rolled his eyes, it's none of my business. However, at a young age, he didn't work hard to study, but instead wanted to marry a wife. He thought that the reputation of the Hinata clan was well known, and his children would be a good match. You conducted a marching activity, marching experience +1, general experience +1, or are these activities only starting and not ending, so they don't count? Or is it just recording the main activities for a period of time? Put your hands together. So the question is, while walking, he is still talking, dating, and holding hands. Why aren't these considered skills? Now it seems like that's all. Ahem. Zhao Baikang Yun knocked on the table and said, quiet down. Listen to Rihong's self-introduction. If extracting chakras from scratch, it may take a lot of time, ranging from 1 or 2 days to 3 to 5 days. Rihong blinked, not very clear. Body energy. With just one word from me. Hinata Ningyuan smiled and said, don't underestimate a person's gossip heart. Is it impossible to perform 2 activities at the same time? Well, I'm Yuriko, I like spicy food, hate desserts and cakes, my future dream is to become a great female ninja like Lord Tsunade. It's none of my business, Steel Iron rolled his eyes in frustration. This is what I just got from my journey from Hinata's home to the square array gathering. Combining my previous sleep and diet, it has allowed Hinata Ningyuan to grasp some systematic usage. A transaction, from beginning to end, is counted as an activity and recorded as an experience. Damn it, you don't have a chance. Shinua Chuyun said to Gangzi Tai, you like sweet food, they like spicy food. Occasionally teasing is enough, too much is not enough. To be honest, he is indeed quite sad. Although he knows he doesn't have a chance, what if when Rihong sat down, Hinata Ningyuan leaned over and whispered, do you believe it or not? You're going to become famous. Within half a day, everyone at this school will come to see you. When you come home at night, your home will be bustling with people. In 3 days, the whole tree will know your name. Just wait and see. Hinata Ningyuan closed her eyes and then opened the system interface. Spiritual energy. How could it be? Rihong didn't believe it, just one word from you. Strange, Rihong blinked and ignored you. However, all these hardships had already been eaten by his predecessors, and now Hinata Ningyuan has a physical memory, but only when he closed his eyes did he feel it. A little bit of physical energy and a little bit of spiritual energy merged into a chakra. It seems like it's not difficult. Feeling a warm lump in her abdomen, Hinata Ningyuan confirmed that this was not an illusion. Then, try to manipulate these chakras. The control method is very simple, just think about it. After all, a part of chakra is spiritual energy, which can naturally be controlled by thoughts to shape and move. However, the textbook also states that printing is the control method of chakra. Hinata Ningyuan tried to create a sub-print, determined the changes in chakra, and then understood the difference between mind control and print control. The mind-controlled chakra is just manipulating chakra. However, using Indian-style control involves machining or programming the chakra. The mind controls the chakra and sprays it out of the mouth, creating a non-attribute chakra. However, when sprayed in Indian style, it can spray water and fire. Opening her eyes, Hinata Ningyuan flipped through the textbook Ninja Consciousness and the relevant meridian items, while browsing and experiencing chakra on her own. There are a total of 5 positions where the human body can expel chakras, namely the palms of both hands, the soles of both feet, and the mouth. Among them, the meridians at the mouth are the widest, followed by the feet, and finally the hands. So large surgeries are often performed through the mouth, followed by pressing the ground with both palms to inject chakra into the ground. There are also techniques for releasing chakras using the meridians on the feet, such as the second-generation water shock wave technique, where water is directly generated from the feet. In addition, the teleportation technique should also be released through the chakra of both feet. There is also a tree climbing and water stepping, which releases chakras from the feet. However, these are all experiences of ordinary people. Hyuga Ningyuan belongs to the Hyuga family, and their chakra is quite unique, which can be released from all acupoints throughout the body. Release chakra in the air, chakra can stay for 44 seconds. Chakra seems to have some material interference ability. Hinata Ningyuan tore off a bit of paper scraps from his notebook and placed them on chakra in his palm. Chakra surprisingly lifted the paper scraps. Hinata Ningyuan turned her head and saw Rihong with wide open eyes, as if surprised. What's wrong? Hinata asked Ningyuan. How did you do this? Rihong curiously pointed to Ningyuan's palm. Hold up the paper. Hinata Ningyuan thought for a moment and said, Hinata's chakra is like this. Oh. Rihong nodded, her blood characteristics, so I'm not curious. So the chakra of an ordinary ninja doesn't have this characteristic. Hinata Ningyuan thought for a moment and confirmed that the ability to hold matter should be exclusive to the Hinata family. That's why the Hinata family has the skill of empty palm, because the Hinata family's chakra can directly interfere with matter, so as long as the chakra is concentrated and fired, it can harm people. He suddenly understood why Hinata no longer played a tribute ninjutsu, because it seemed unnecessary. Others still need to attribute chakra to have lethality, but the Hinata family doesn't need to be so complicated, chakra comes with it. Tail Beast Chakra, activate chakra. Hinata Ningyuan unfolded his thoughts. Their chakra is special, but not unique. The Tail Beast Chakra also has the effect of interfering with substances, and the effect is better, with astonishing killing power, because the Tail Beast Chakra is an attribute plus chakra. Activating chakra is the ninja chakra in Starry Ninja Village, who is affected by radiation interference, undergoes property mutations, and then also has the ability to interfere with matter. So the ninjas from Starry Ninja Village developed the peacock technique, which not only allowed chakra to form beasts to attack enemies, but also formed wings to fly in the sky. These 2 types of chakras provide 2 development ideas for Nissan Ningyuan. The former is chakra attributing, and once the chakra of the Hinata family is attributing, its power is definitely stronger than that of ordinary people's chakras, and may even be comparable to tail beasts. The latter is to further deepen the ability to interfere with matter, and then combine it with morphological changes. At that time, not only can it form wings to fly, but it can also be shaped into a high degree. Who said only the Uchiha clan can open the Gundam, just like the Hinata clan? If attributes, activations, and forms are all developed to the extreme, it may not necessarily be worse than Mu-dun. After all, who is not the bloodline of the 6 Taoists? End of this chapter. Chapter 8. Gas C System. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8 Gas C System. Take chakra back into your body, then don't touch him or think about him. After a moment, Hinata Ningyuan felt that the warm feeling had disappeared. Chakra really can't be retained, it's easy to use and take, it's a bit like stamina. Today's stamina cannot be saved for tomorrow's use. If one's stamina is exhausted, taking a break will also help them recover. Overexertion may lead to death from overwork. This is highly consistent with the characteristics of chakras. After all, there is body energy in the composition of chakras. But Hinata Ningyuan is a traveler with a lot of ideas in his mind. Chakra comes from bodily energy, but after all, it's not bodily energy, so why can't it be stored? Didn't Gangsho just do it? However, Hinata Ningyuan, who wants to cultivate immortality, said that storing chakra in the center of his eyebrows is completely a dark path and should be stored in the sea of chi. Actually, it should be called Dantian, but in the world of Hokage, there is already Chakra Dantian, which is the place where body energy and spiritual energy merge to produce chakra. So the place where chakras are stored, Ningyuan, has given a different name. That's right, as a hobby engraved in the genes of Chinese people, how could Huiying not try to cultivate immortality? This means that there is currently no other way to open this place besides sealing. The sealing technique, Nyo, is so powerful that it can lead to the upper ceiling, the night ceiling, and the lower ceiling, the 9 tails ceiling. Perhaps it is also due to different systems. The Whirlpool clan generally has a large amount of chakras, which may not be just a physical problem. Otherwise, where have the 9-tailed, 8-tailed, and other tailed beasts been sealed? That place can accommodate a tail beast, it can accommodate a huge number of chakras. Even if ordinary people are not as exaggerated as the Vortex clan, there should be no problem with a smaller one. Refining essence and transforming chi, refining chi and transforming spirit, refining spirit and returning emptiness, refining emptiness and combining the Tao. Refining essence and transforming chi is simple, and chakra is this kind of chi. I have already completed it, but the problem is where the chi storage is. Is it because of different constitutions that people in the ninja realm do not have a sea of chi? Hinata Ningyuan extracted another chakra and wandered around the sea of chi in his abdomen, while flipping through the meridians of the Ninja Consciousness textbook. But because he was walking in the chakra system, although the sea of chi was opened, he didn't notice it himself. There is another possibility, the system is different. Cats have cat words, snakes have snake paths, and chakra travels through 3 veins and 7 rounds, but of course, he cannot find the sea of chi. But if it's between 1,000 pillars, I would think it's reasonable. He is such a neurotic person who uses chi high but doesn't even know it, which is also reasonable. And, Mu-dun. Many people say that Mu-dun is eliminated by the blood inheritance, limited blood inheritance, but no one has ever replicated it. Monsters can do it, unreasonable people can't do it. And Hinata Ningyuan also has a genuine cultivation technique in his hands. There are not many words, only 16. No, there is a sea of chi among people in the ninja realm, and the capacity of the sea of chi is enormous. As for how he activated the Chihai system, his wife is a Whirlpool Mito and he also knows sealing techniques. Does this possibility exist? If it is between 1,000 hands, it must not exist. Do I have to learn sealing techniques? Hinata Ningyuan thought for a moment and felt that the road shouldn't be so difficult. He also didn't see any martial arts novel that said the Sea of Qi is so difficult to open up, and there are many martial arts talents who can practice their internal strength in a day. But there is another contradiction here. How does Naruto's chakra explain, and no one teaches him? Perhaps the Whirlpool clan, studying sealing techniques, accidentally stumbled upon some unique meridians and 8 meridian systems, and then this memory was inherited within their bodies. There really doesn't seem to be anything like a Sea of Qi on this, so there isn't a Sea of Qi among people in the ninja realm. Hinata Ningyuan frowned slightly and then shook his head. This kind of constitution is called the immortal human body. So the question is it possible that Mudun is actually something from another system? So the question is, where is the place where the tail beast is stored? If this place could be found by following the chakra meridians, it would have been discovered by someone long ago. Besides, Chakra, who was killed by the monkey flying sun, had already cleared all the meridians in his body and had not noticed it. Between the 1,000-handed pillars. Hinata Ningyuan thought of this abnormal chakra that could surpass Naruto plus 9-tailed. Is it possible that he opened up the Sea of Qi, which is why chakra is so large? Adding soil and water is a solution, not a wood solution. People who use 1 to 8 tails are not the Whirlpool clan, and even Noera Rin can save the next 3 tails. Isn't it true that no one has been successful? There are old monsters who have lived for thousands of years in the 3 holy sites. Metal, wood, water, fire, earth. Hinata Ningyuan believes that there is a possibility, and the possibility is very high. Because the Vortex clan also has a technique called Diamond Blockade. Gold. Qi High System, Sealing Art, Gold, Wood, Water, Fire, Earth. Chakra System, Chakra, Earth, Wind, Water, Fire, Thunder. Completely cracked. The theoretical verification has been completed, but Ningyuan's problem has not been solved yet. How can we find the Qi Sea without knowing the sealing technique? Hinata Ningyuan pondered for a moment and found a solution. Close your eyes and meditate. Extract physical energy, but do not merge with spiritual energy. What is the body energy at this time called? Internal power. That's right, internal power is the internal energy produced by refining food in the body, which is completely consistent with the composition of body energy. And the internal force moves through the Qi Sea system. It's so difficult. Hinata Ningyuan just tried and found the difficulty. He couldn't control the birth of spiritual energy during meditation, and once both spiritual and physical energy appeared at the same time, they would merge uncontrollably into chakras. This is because attention and mental energy are highly unified. As long as attention is focused on physical energy, mental energy will follow attention to the side of physical energy. Unless attention is not focused on physical energy, allowing it to move spontaneously, or producing no mental energy at all. The former requires a mental technique outside the door, such as Tai Chi and the 18 dragon subduing palms. Can Ningyuan have such a thing? So, what about generating only physical energy and not spiritual energy? As long as a person is still thinking, they will generate spiritual energy. If they do not want to generate spiritual energy, they must reach the legendary state of mindlessness and non-attachment, which cannot be achieved without form. No wonder ninjas can't find the Sea of Qi. So difficult, this almost blocks the path for a ninja to find the Sea of Qi. Fortunately, besides being a well-thought-out traveler, Hinata Ningyuan also has cheats. You performed a chakra extraction experience +1, general experience +1, current level LV1, 1/100, you have performed an internal force extraction, with an internal force extraction experience of +1 and a general experience of +1. The current level is LV1, 1 out of 100, you have conducted a magical meditation, where the magic meditation extracts experience +1, universal experience +1, and current level LV1, 1 out of 100, magic meditation. It should be spiritual energy, isn't it that the magician uses spiritual energy? Glancing at the main panel. Name. Hinata Ningyuan, gender. Male age. 5 skills. Sleep LV1, 8 out of 100, Diet LV1, 1/100, Travel LV1, 1/100, Chakra Extract LV1, 1/100, Internal Power Extraction LV1, 1/100, Magic Meditation LV1, 1/100, Talent. None. General Experience Point. 6. Click on the Internal Force Extraction column, and there is a flashing plus sign after, 1/100. My entire life, cultivation, enlightenment, and strength, all rely on myself. Deep blue, add some. All 6 points of universal experience are added to internal power extraction, and the level of internal power extraction is increased by 7/100. In a moment, Ningyuan felt a slight special change. He immediately closed his eyes and extracted energy from his body. A lot. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Confidentiality Issues of Chakra Gas C. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 9 Chakra Entering the Sea of Gas. Confidentiality issues previously, whether it was chakra extraction, internal power extraction, or magic meditation, they were all LV1, 1/00, with the same level, so the 3 were prone to interfering with each other. But now, with a significant increase in internal power level, the other 2 activities are immediately suppressed. Get up. This time when manipulating internal power again, it's not easy to encounter the problem of suddenly mixing chakras, because there is less mental energy and more physical energy. Even if a part of the chakra is produced, there is still excess physical energy. Later, Hinata Ningyuan realized that these excess body energies had actually bypassed the chakra meridian and embarked on an unknown path. The route is right. Hinata Ningyuan was overjoyed because the Whirlpool clan had a strong body, and they were sure to have a pile of body energy after extracting the chakra. Then someone unintentionally followed the cycle of body energy and created a new power, and then used this new power to develop the sealing technique system. Is it reasonable? TSK, Snake Uncle, that's all. Hinata Ningyuan shook his head. A true scientist can calculate the truth of the world with just a pen on a piece of paper. There's no need for experiments. Of course, it's not that he's really better than Snake Uncle, it's just that he was born in an era of information explosion and has access to more information than Orochimaru. The Whirlpool clan should have discovered the power of metal, which has the ability to suppress. In the realm of ninja, it is the power of sealing, but it also seals success and failure. The Whirlpool clan has not realized that the greatest value of this route is the ability to store Chakra's aura, not some ghost sealing technique. Although Hinata Ningyuan has not yet exerted his cash power, he is a theoretical master that can be inferred. For example, seals were invented as early as the Shang dynasty, and the movable type printing technique, which is similar in principle, only emerged in the Song dynasty. There is also a saying that he studied water escape in order to restrain Uchiha's fire escape. Another thing is that some meridians may have openings leading to other places, but they are very hidden and cannot be detected by ordinary people. It may require abnormal chakra perception, or people may not have the desire to discover. Adding his talent for water escape in the chakra system resulted in his water escape being much more exaggerated than others. When Hinata Ningyuan felt her body's energy flowing 3 inches below her belly button, the sensation suddenly became much weaker. It is highly likely that he also took this path, but he was walking on the kidney meridians, which led to a stronger water attribute. The liver corresponds to wood, and the liver meridians should run between the Qianshou pillars. Hinata Ningyuan tried it for a while and then found that although it was very narrow, with hard work, it still got in. I'm super. I was a bit surprised, but with this experience, Hinata confirmed another thing with Ningyuan. Since we have found the Qi-Si, the next step is to save the chakra. Hinata Ningyuan did not consider practicing martial arts, he just wanted to use his internal power to find the Qi-Si. The lungs belong to gold, and the Vortex clan probably walked through some of the meridians in the lungs, and then gave Chakra the ability to suppress them. Hinata Ningyuan can only say that everything makes sense, everything is possible. Found the Sea of Qi. In fact, there is no need to deliberately search. The body's energy will spontaneously flow towards the Sea of Qi, just like water flowing into the sea. Why is it called the Sea of Qi? Since we have found it, our internal strength is useless. The energy level of internal strength is still low, not comparable to chakra. But it's not a big problem, it's just a matter of physical adaptability. Qi Hai hasn't tried mental energy before, just give it a try. It's not that the physical energy has weakened, but that Qi Hai is not friendly to spiritual energy and not very accessible. Many things in this world are like this, and many inventions and discoveries are actually flashes of inspiration, but they can hold people back for countless years. The chakra meridians may not necessarily be the ones depicted in books, there may still be some that have not been discovered. Solved the case. Why is the water escape between the thousand-handed gates so powerful? He has just memorized the route of Qi circulation, so it is definitely not a problem to walk. The problem is that the place is not the chakra meridian, so it may not be possible to walk smoothly. The matter of storing chakras may not necessarily be limited to the Sea of Qi. Isn't it true that unlocking 8 acupoints in the 8 gates done armor allows for the acquisition of a large number of chakras? Energy is conserved, why can one unlock 8 acupoints out of thin air to obtain so many chakras? It is highly likely that chakra is usually accumulated in these acupoints. Even the 8 gates Duanjia may not be the correct way to open it. If you use the Qi-Si meridian system, you may be able to open the 8 gates normally and merge all the chakras in the 8 gates into the Qi-Si. Pui. A clump of chakras effortlessly plunged into the Sea of Qi, like droplets of water merging into the sea. Silent and without any splashing waves. It's done. Hinata Ningyuan felt a bit confused and excited, but soon calmed down. This is the first step in cultivating immortality. In addition to storing Qi in the Qi-Si, cultivating immortals also requires allowing Qi to flow throughout the body to nourish the whole body. This wandering process is also a refining process. The chakra that Hinata Ningyuan is using now is not his own chakra, but the chakra of Datong Muhueyi. With just one thought, Datong Muhueyi can take it away, and using meridian acupoints can wash away these imprints and truly transform the chakra into his own. In addition, meridians can also endow chakras with various characteristics, such as suppression and sealing. One characteristic corresponds to one cultivation method. If one can travel through many meridians to obtain many characteristics, it indicates that this cultivation method is very impressive. The practitioners of the Whirlpool clan can be called Xian Jin Zhen Ju, while those who practice between the thousand-handed pillars are called Yi Mu Changxing Ju. To develop various techniques and features, he still has something to study. By the way, there's another confidentiality issue. Hinata Ningyuan thought of this question again. Many people in this world have the ability to perceive others' chakras, especially Hinata's family. The cultivation technique that I have worked hard to develop myself has been taken away by others at a glance. How can this be done? The Sea of Qi is not enclosed, and perceiving ninjutsu can detect the power of the tailed beast man pillar from a long distance. If you don't have chakra, this thing won't exist, and if you do, it will be discovered. Moreover, the cultivation of created techniques also requires chakra wandering. This wandering process can not only be observed by the naked eye, but also by writing will eyes. As soon as I think of this, Hinata Ningyuan even wants to eliminate the Uchiha clan, it's so disrespectful of intellectual property. First, remove the chakra from the Sea of Qi and scatter it, and Ningyuan begins to ponder the issue of confidentiality. In fact, chakra also has a chakradon field, which is located in a similar position to the Qi-Si in the Qi-Si meridian system. In this way, when others see chakra in the Sea of Qi, they may mistake it for Chakradanshan. But there is a problem with this, which is that there are not always chakras in the human body, and chakras will dissipate if not used for a period of time. That is to say, if you look at a ninja with your eyes, he doesn't have chakras in his body 24 hours a day. Of course, at a higher level, extracting chakras has become an instinct for ninjas, and chakras will stay in place. However, Hinata Ningyuan is only 5 years old now and has not yet reached that stage. To study the methods of confidentiality techniques, one must first understand the principles of perspective and perception of chakra, and then conduct corresponding research. The perceptual skills in this world can be roughly divided into 5 types. Vortex perception, Sharingan, white eye, chakra perception, and tailed beast perception. I live in the Hinata tribe and cannot encounter the 4 perceptual ninjutsus other than white eye for a while. I cannot open my eyes before graduating from Earth, so I can ignore them. So, I can first study methods to combat white eyes, and at the same time, chakra is not in a hurry to store it. I can develop techniques first. There is no cultivation method, and the stored chakra is not my own. No matter how much it is stored, it is useless. Hui Ye's chakra can only be activated in Hindi style, while one's own chakra doesn't even need to be folded with both hands and can be read and moved. Which cultivator do you see who needs to recite spells and seal their spells when releasing spells? Generally, gestures are used to show off their charm, aren't they? Let's turn to page 4. All the students in the class have finished introducing themselves, and Zhao Baikanjian has also started teaching. But who could have imagined that in just such a short while, a student downstairs had already transitioned from a reserve ninja to a reserve cultivator. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Natural Creators. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10 Talent. Creators, you have conducted a true chi cultivation, with +1 true chi cultivation experience and +1 general experience. Your current level is LV1, 1/100. Chakra has entered the sea of chi, so it is no longer chakra, but exclusive to cultivators, true chi. After integrating the natural chakra, it will evolve into mana. Hinata Ningyuan continued to look down and found that the prompt given this time was not 1, but 2. You have completed the theoretical construction of the cultivation system from scratch and carried out preliminary practice, which is an unprecedented achievement. You have competed in the 6 paths of deity and achieved the 3 immortals. Ningyuan's face heated up and it passed. You have obtained the talent entry. Creator. Creator. Actively activate, enter a brain overclocking state, and significantly increase mental activity. Oh, this talent, NZT.48. Ningyuan was surprised. When he saw a talent option on the system panel, he knew there must be a way to obtain talent. He didn't expect the speed to be so fast. What does brain overclocking mean? Although he has not personally experienced it, he has watched enough movies and TV shows and has some understanding. 1. Eddie, who had no inspiration to write a novel, immediately transformed into a skilled hand-speed expert after his brain overclocked, writing like a god. 2. Eddie's girlfriend, who has never been trained in knowledge integration, can integrate martial arts scenes from various movies and TV shows she has watched before and apply them after her brain is overclocked. The world in front of him suddenly turned into a black and white color, and endless perspectives flooded into his mind. There are too many, so many pieces of information that Ningyuan's thoughts cannot concentrate at all. Wake up, think about what I'm here for, and gain some useful insights. Ningyuan gritted his teeth, trying to calm his mind. What is it to study? Feeling the brain as fast as light, Ningyuan immediately determined the research direction. General MacArthur, a 5-star American general, commented, "Give him a BGM, he can jump out of the search for Cullinan." Brain overclocking has at least the following functions. Hoover Dam. Time, has it come to a standstill? Ningyuan was taken aback for a moment and suddenly realized that it was not time that had come to a standstill, but rather that his thinking speed had been accelerated to the extreme. Various lights, colors, tastes, and sounds rushed towards the brain in an instant. Give it a try. Ningyuan had an impulse to start a wave of attempts, and this impulse grew stronger and could not be suppressed. Dance. Shameful. Under brain overclocking, the white eye passively opens up. But then again, is this clearly an active skill that needs to be activated by oneself? How can it be classified as a talent? When two small balls intersect, an upward positive shock wave is generated. 3. Eddie, who is speeding to learn and his brain is overclocking, just listens to passers-by chatting and learns a new language by watching some Chinese character advertisements for intellectualization enhancement. A novelist can not only switch careers as a stockbroker with extremely high requirements for mathematical knowledge, but also research biotechnology. 5. The enhancement of the five senses is due to the accelerated processing speed of the brain, which leads to an increase in the precision of information from the five senses, producing an effect similar to the dominance of sight, smell, color, and aura. 6. Body control. Due to the overclocking of brain functions, the degree of brain control over the body can be greatly improved. Even if one is not proficient in martial arts, they can maximize the power of body cells and muscles. He is cruel to himself, he is evil to himself, and I am full of true anger. How did the British build subways over 400 years ago? E=mc². He felt an endless burst of inspiration in his mind. He had learned in his past life, read in books, and seen various knowledge in short videos, and in his mind, they intersected. With just one glance, countless flowers could bloom. After all, he is really curious about what kind of effect brain overclocking is. Open. Ningyuan bit his teeth and his consciousness directly hit the panel. In the next moment, Ningyuan only felt that the whole world was quiet. It's best to combine techniques such as footwork, fingering, and cultivation techniques, as well as be elegant and aesthetically pleasing. The goal is to be as graceful as a swan, as graceful as a wandering dragon, stunning all living beings. It's not that he doesn't study martial arts, but that the environment is not suitable. If there are any anomalies caused by practicing martial arts, he cannot explain them. Hinata's chakra is also a technology worth studying, but his current chakra is not strong enough and cannot be developed and practiced, making it meaningless. On the contrary, it's dance, and he hopes to make use of it as soon as possible. This involves basic attributes, and if he gets started one day earlier, he will become stronger. So, is there such a cultivation method? The martial arts of the ancient tomb sect are very suitable, not only do they look good, but they also resemble dance. But in just an instant, Hinata Ningyuan thought of a better alternative. Phoenix Dance 9 Heavens. The martial arts learned by Lu Xiaofeng combine techniques, footwork, and fingering, while in the world of ancient dragons, the water is so muddy and there are so many people who love to poison. Lu Xiaofeng is so reckless that he hasn't been poisoned to death. It's highly likely that this skill can also detoxify and nourish his appearance. Otherwise, why call it Phoenix? So the name of the cultivation method is Phoenix Dance 9 Heavens. All the information related to dance, step, and fingering. In an instant, the aimless information in the brain began to have directionality. Peacock dance, peacock step, swan dance, swan step, finger dance, gesture dance, ghost drag, street dance in the brain. Various dance video actions surge out one after another, and then are summarized and integrated by the brain's overclocking state of Hinata Ningyuan. Finally, lean towards the concept of Phoenix. In the end, a divine skill called dance, which is actually a martial art form. Phoenix Dance 9 Heavens, was created. Although the internal training part is not yet perfect due to the lack of data on the 8 extraordinary meridians, and the external skill part is also based on brainpower deduction, this is not purely theoretical, but rather has legal basis and logical basis. After all, Hinata Ningyuan comes from the modern world and has a profound understanding of the human body and physics. This cultivation technique combines the vast database of previous lives, Hinata Ningyuan's personal experience of chakra, and the assistance of modern scientific concepts. Although it is only a beginner, Hinata Ningyuan's momentary achievements have surpassed the accumulation of the Hinata clan for thousands of years. Bagua Palm, turning to the heavens. Dogs don't even learn. Ouch. Hinata Ningyuan suddenly let out a dry vomit, feeling dizzy and swollen, and his stomach began to spasm. Subsequently, bang. A head drooped heavily, but fortunately the teacher was a ninja with an extremely fast reaction speed, using a teleportation technique to drag the person down. The sun is heading towards Ningyuan, the sun is heading towards Ningyuan. Rihong was a little panicked. Teacher, what's wrong with him? He's fine. Zhao Baikanjian smiled and said, he just opened his eyes and consumed too much. Just take a break and it'll be fine. He was on the podium when he saw Hinata Ningyuan suddenly open his eyes and then lay down. Isn't this causal relationship easy to understand? There's no need to call the people of the Hinata clan over, and the ninja school has also accepted the children of the Hinata clan. Just take a look, it's not a big deal. That's it. Rihong nodded and breathed a sigh of relief. Although she had just met Hinata Ningyuan, their friendship came quickly, and Hinata Ningyuan was also very cute. Can you sleep? Daitu didn't hear what the teacher said, only saw Hinata Ningyuan lying on the table sleeping. I didn't expect the teacher to ignore me. Then I'll sleep too. Bang. He had just fallen down when a piece of chalk had already hit his head. Ah, teacher, why did you hit me? Daitu refused. You slept in class, you said why I hit you. Zhao Baikangyun said angrily. But Rihong Ningyuan is also sleeping. Tu pointed to Zhao Baikanjian behind him. He opened his eyes, can you compare with him? Zhao Baikanjian said angrily, if you open your eyes, then you can also sleep. Me, I'll show you now. With a hint of anger, he looked at Zhao Baikangyun and stared for a long time without any change. Zhao Baikanjian said angrily, what are you looking at? If you look again, just go out and stand there. That's better not to do it. Scratching his head with dirt, he was punished for standing in the first class, which doesn't seem like a good idea. Teacher, can I go run circles? Might Kai's eyes lit up. Class or something, it's really boring. You sit down for me. Zhao Baikanjian said speechlessly, what kind of person are these? Two idiots. Kakashi sneered softly. What did you say? She turned her head in anger. Dirty. Zhao Baikanjian slammed the table angrily. Give me a good seat to listen to. With soil and grievances, Baba, I feel like I've been targeted. Why is there a beautiful woman sitting at the same table in Ningyuan? My desk mate is a white-haired bastard. Why can I sleep during classes at Ningyuan? I only get beaten if I want to sleep. He angrily turned his head and glanced at Hinata Ningyuan, who was still sleeping, and saw Hinata Ningyuan leaning directly on one side of her body, leaning against Rihong. Bastard. He patted the table with dirt and said, Teacher, look at him. Daitu, you go out and stand for me. Teacher. Get out. Biting my lips with dirt, is this the ninja school? It's too dark. Humph. Zhao Baikangyun looked at his dusty back and let out a grudge. May I ask the whole village of Kiba, who doesn't hate Uchiha? I'm not specifically looking for trouble, but who let you fall into my hands? However, glancing at Hinata Ningyuan leaning against Rihong, is this kid really lucky? I haven't had a girlfriend yet. End of this chapter.